Hi, I'm Dr. Ben LeBreau, the founder of Floating Doctors Medical Team.
My name is Samantha Horn, and I am currently the Executive Director of Floating Doctors. Floating Doctors provides medical, dental, and vet services to 24 Indigenous communities on a rotating 12-week cycle.
When we came to Panama, we found that the environment was exactly the kind of environment that our organization was designed to address. So we got to Panama, found a large 10,000 square mile region of impenetrable jungle, very high, steep mountains, 200 inches of rain a year, mangrove mazes everywhere, little communities scattered across this whole area with no access really, to even the most basic medical care. We set up a central base in the region of Bocas del Toro. And from that base, our teams deploy 52 weeks a year. We can actually have some kind of real relationship with these communities rather than just showing up once and then never coming back again, which is, of course, quite a standard way of operating. Our patients generally live on about $2 a day. We focus on individual patients, and we focus heavily on our volunteer program so that when our volunteers come, the spirit of their wanting to be of service is honored and they're productive and actively participate rather than just standing around, and that they carry home with them hopefully something of much greater value even than they've contributed to make that happen, and something that will continue to help patients and communities and influence the way healthcare is delivered. We found early on that a lot of our volunteers, whether they were students or seasoned, experienced professionals, were having really profound experiences and also really having strong improvements in their actual skill and ability to be physicians. And so while focusing on outputs where we are working, we've also heavily curated our program to try and amplify the impact of our organization decades later and thousands of miles away.
We're able to continue seeing the same patients every 12 weeks and also help them with any chronic illness. Unfortunately, the areas where they would typically get that medication are normally out of stock or far away and they're not able to reach. This has allowed us to help them keep living their life. They don't have to interrupt their medication because they ran out. They don't need to take off 3 days to go get the medication. We've been able to provide communities a continuity of care that they wouldn't otherwise have access to. And we're also able to provide family planning services on a 12-week cycle.
I'm often astonished by what an impact even that person's 1 or 2 week experience with us has sometimes had on the entire subsequent course of their personal life and professional career, and certainly on the outcomes and lives of their patients and the other people that they touch later on. So our program quickly became an organization focused on, as it was from the beginning, reducing the present and future burden of disease and illness in the developing world and promoting improvements in healthcare delivery worldwide. A lot of our patients had never seen a physician ever until they saw us, which was both horrifying and also an extreme privilege to make sure that that first encounter with healthcare was a positive one. One of the most counterintuitive insights that we gain from doing this kind of work: if you want to help thousands, focus on helping one. Because I can actually point to every single patient that we did not pass by because we were like, well, with the resources that I'm going to need to help you, I can help these 100. Every single patient like that, I can point to usually a different way that our investment in that patient led to us not helping hundreds, but helping thousands or even tens of thousands. Nothing would make me happier than working ourselves out of a job there and no longer being needed, in which case we would either address other issues in Panama or move elsewhere. But I have a feeling, unfortunately, we're probably going to be needed in Panama for quite some time. But the goal would be work ourselves out of a job so that we're no longer needed. That's when I can finally sit down and rest. But until that day comes, we're going to keep pressing, keep working, and every time we run up against these barriers that prevent our patients from having the same rights, and I really do mean rights, the same rights that anyone else in the world should be able to have in terms of expectations for how they should be treated, what kind of basic care they can receive, we won't stop.